Picture Maurya in a cramped San Francisco coffee shop, laptop flickering, eyes darting over his fledgling product plan. The clock's ticking, money's tight, and his idea hanging by a thread. How does he avoid building another shiny failure? The answer isn't more features. It's about ruthlessly proving your assumptions before they sink your startup. But exactly how do you run lean enough to survive? Stick around because this story cracks open a new way to find out what works fast. Most startups start with a shiny solution nobody asked for. Ash knew this trap well. He had to hunt down the actual problem first, or all that time and cash would vanish. Back in Florida, Ash launched an online marketing tool that looked perfect on paper but flopped hard. Customers nodded politely but never bought. He realized he was solving a problem nobody truly felt. This painful misstep forced him to dive back into direct conversations, not surveys, but raw interviews, to find a problem that actually kept his customers up at night. Think of problem interviews like mining for rare gems hidden under layers of rock. You have to chip away at assumptions, ask sharp questions, and watch the raw reactions. Ash compares it to being a detective, not pushing your solution but digging for the pain that demands a fix, so you build something people actually crave. The result, Ash's stubborn pursuit of the real problem changed the game. By focusing on genuine customer pain, he transformed vague ideas into a product that sold before it was even built. That's the paradox. Solving fewer things well beats building everything badly. And that insight is the cornerstone of running lean. You're itching to build the slickest product, right? Ash says, hold your horses. Get out of the building ASAP with just enough to test. He calls it the minimum viable product, an experiment, not a finished masterpiece. Before Dropbox was huge, Drew Houston didn't build a full product. Instead, he made a simple video demo explaining the concept. It wasn't just a pitch. It was an MVP that sparked an avalanche of signups and validated demand instantly. Ash uses this story to show how little you really need. Sometimes just a glimpse is all to light the fire. Picture an MVP as a smoke signal instead of a rocket launch. You don't have to build a perfect, fully patched product first. You just send a visible alert to your audience and watch the reaction. It's lean experimentation in its rawest form, cheap, fast, and brutally honest about what's working or not. The payoff? Teams who master MVPs waste far less time coding features nobody wants. Instead, they get instant feedback that carves the product roadmap with a scalpel, not an axe. It transforms building from guesswork to strategy, plus it saves your sanity and your savings. When metrics tank or customers shrink away, most founders panic. Ash teaches you to see this as a signal, not failure but data. Knowing when to pivot or persevere can save your whole startup story. Back in the industrial age, GE didn't cling to lightbulb tech forever. They pivoted hard into jet engines when the market shifted. Ash borrows this to show that pivots are timeless strategic moves, not shameful retreats. The key? Spotting when your product-market fit isn't happening and changing your trajectory boldly. Imagine your startup as a ship sailing toward a lighthouse. If the light dims or you hit rough seas, pivoting is simply adjusting your sails, not abandoning ship. Ash's principle is clear. A pivot is a smart tactical change based on measured learning, not a desperation move. When founders embrace this mindset, they transform shaky startups into winners. Instead of blindly trudging forward, they iterate rapidly, troubleshoot effectively, and often find new, lucrative market niches hidden behind their original ideas. Pivoting becomes the secret weapon to survive and thrive. Back to that coffee shop, Ash now smiles at his screen, not because building was easy, but because he ran lean enough to know he's building the right thing. Here's your shot. Tomorrow, pick one big assumption in your project. Test it with a quick, real-world experiment. Learn fast and don't be afraid to pivot. That's how products survive and thrive. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.